Hi all, it's your boy Scott, and you know he's slapping. So I'm just kind of chilling today. I have a topic. It's gonna be another horror movie theme thing, and it's more Michael Myers, Halloween. Who doesn't love that? So, Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers. This is a big movie to me because it's probably the ultimate slasher movie, at least from the standpoint of the slasher villain. Maybe the rest of the stuff doesn't hold up, but 4 does. Now, I've been thinking about talking about this for a while because it just something stuck in my head that I'm a big fan of drum dums, okay? And he mentioned something about Myers in Halloween 4 possibly being the greatest slasher villain ever, which could be considered bold words, but I have been thinking about it for, God, when did he say that? When did you say that, Drum Dums? It's been a minute. Couple years? 3? And I don't remember which video it was. I'm sorry, my man, but God, it sure stuck in my dome. So, God, let's talk about Myers, the greatest slasher villain ever, in part 4. And that's over the rest of the movies, too. I don't think 4 is the best one, okay? For me, it's 2 and 1. And it's like 1A, 1B. It's very, very close. When I was growing up, it's not that my mom wouldn't let me watch it. I just caught like tidbits, and I thought the first movie and the second movie were the same one. That's how similar those were. A lot of people don't like 2, but that's my favorite horror movie ever, is part 2. Ever. Out of anything. With 1 being a close follow-up to that. Very close. Horror fans ain't gonna unite on my side over that because I've never really heard 2 get talked about that much. And this isn't about 2. But I know Carpenter didn't really want to do the second one, and yeah, you know, he typed it out like overnight with a 6-pack. I've heard the stories, and he made it gorier. He didn't like what Rosenfeld did. I think I got his name right. And isn't that the same one that did what was it, Resurrection? Oh God. At any rate, 4. Why is that version of Myers superior to the other versions of Myers, or Jason Voorhees, or other slasher villains you or I might consider slasher villains? I don't think you can just categorically put these guys just in the slasher villain realm, because what do you call Freddy Krueger? He's a slasher, but that's also supernatural, right? But what the hell is Myers? From what I get from the franchises, there's like this evil essence that just took over the body. It's not about the body, okay? So how is that not like supernatural? At any rate, I'm kind of, mincing words here a little bit, but let's roll with the slasher villain thing, man. Is the Myers from 4 the GOAT of at least that franchise, and possibly all of horror? I've watched quite a bit of horror, and I'm sure I'm missing something. I'm sure I'll get lit up, and that's fine. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's been known to happen from time to time. Another Quaalude in the morning, I'll love you again. But why is this Myers so special versus the others? Yeah, I'm drinking a little bit. I'm going to get out on the trail. We're going to get into some nature here. But yeah, once again, Drum Dums, man, geez. Nice work, because I've really been thinking about this. Because I love Myers Like You. That's my favorite franchise ever in cinema. So, We're gonna get to it. I'm not gonna polish off this can right here, just open it up. Yeah, I know it's cheap beer, but goddamn, it's doing the trick. It's doing me a treat. So, shut this bad boy off. See how many heads I can turn while I'm talking about this stuff. So, state in Oregon, beautiful day. It was only 70. But it's muggy. And I'm not necessarily an omens guy, but what's summer gonna be like here? It's gonna be like, fuck me, man. Halloween 4. So let's kick it off. The beginning, where, you know, what are they? I don't think they're paramedics, doctors, whatever. They're gonna move Myers, right? And right off the jump, he's alive. You know that, they know it, right? But the gears are already turning, like he knows what's up. He's gonna get shit cracking pretty quick. And they move him, they put him on the ambulance, and he wipes him out. And then he doesn't waste any time from that point on, right? Okay, so what happens next? You got Loomis on the case. And next time you see Myers, it's Mummy Myers with the bandage wraps. I don't think that version of Myers gets talked about enough. The gas station scene later on, still bandage Myers. He's working on his kit. He's getting his outfit back. He doesn't have the mask yet, but God, man, as creepy as that mask is, maybe he doesn't need it for this one. Mummy wrap, bandage Myers head. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So, yeah. So he proceeds on in. He gets to the gas station, starts getting his costume back. All right. Loomis is right there. And Myers is ready to roll. He's already fucking with him. And he's out. So there's other aspects, other awesome characters in this movie. I'm not talking about the whole movie and all these characters. Just this guy and what he does that is so ingenious versus the field. So he gets back to town, starts putting in work. And I had like a small clip where I was talking about Bucky getting tossed into the the power place, the power station. And nobody really talks about Bucky. We get a fuck off Wade all the time. And man, talk shit about fuck off Wade all you want, but as far as I know, he survived that shit. So, And the one that delivered that line, she got hers. I mean, who the hell uses a ranged weapon as a melee weapon? At any rate, so the first thing he does once he gets in there is he takes out the town's power. Ding! Check mark, green check mark. Did I get that out of order? Because he takes out like the police department. Ding! Check. Maybe he did that first. I think he did that first. And then he moved into town and took out the power. So, man, he took out their defense, the power. He's using bait tactics. I think he set off the school alarm to draw attention there. And then hitches a ride with a cop in the back seat. And he took them right in to their fortified position. Got in the house. And they're locking everything up with him in there already. So that's all fine and outstanding, but that doesn't mean you're going to nail Myers from the first two. But they did, especially where, you know, the hide and seek, tongue-in-cheek kind of thing where the audience sees him, but the NPCs don't. So any time where he's kind of, you're looking down that dark alley and it's foggy at night and you can kind of see him, they knocked that out of the park, especially when he got in the house and the cop sitting in the rocking chair looking at the front door and you see Myers' bleach white mask kind of peek out, then disappear. So you're nailing Myers, the stealth aspect. And that's all there is to that. I get the mask ain't the same. I get his shoulders are hunched up a little bit, all right? But I love that look. It's still a creepy Myers, all right? You ain't fucking with this Myers, dude. So he's in their midst and he's taking them out like he should. Now, taking out the police squad was ingenious for a couple of things. They're going to get their defenses up, if you can call it defense. What did the cops say? You just created, what, a lynch mob or something like that? And Loomis is like, this is all you got. Well, that was calculated by him. And they're running around drunk hillbillies shooting each other up. So even when the tide turns a little bit against Myers and the protagonists are heading out of town, I think they're all good, he hitched a ride. You're not shaking this one, all right? So I think I covered a lot of the basis of this. But even the ending where he gets like shot up and down the well, that's an all right fitting ending, I guess. I mean, look where 5 picked up where he wasn't dead and he crawled out of like the shaft or whatever. Well, duh. You're the ones that kind of set that up for whatever's going to come next. But like what up with this whole thing? Like, who was more cold and calculating than him? I mean, shutting off the mainframe, using decoy tactics, as good a stealth as he's ever had. That mask, while it isn't the same, is still good. Love the look and everything about him. You know, I said I wasn't going to talk about the movie in general, but I guess I am. So the beginning is John Carpenter scoreless. They went with like some kind of, I don't know, an atmospheric drone-ish sound. And it was fucking dope. It's not John Carpenter's theme, but something awesome like that theme can get played out. So I can kind of see where they played with that a little bit. Like, we're going to roll with something else. And it worked. And it wasn't just the music, but the shots. I think that's one of the greatest intros to a slasher film ever. It might be at the top. Could be wrong. 'Tis probable. Light me up in the comments if you say otherwise. And I'm just kind of thinking, like, what other slasher villain or any like horror villain is as devastatingly manipulative than Myers and 4, The Return of Michael Myers. I mean, that's a good name for that. Return, revenge, you know, it gets played out all over. You know, Revenge of the Sith. I think Lucas was originally trying to do Revenge of the Jedi, but revenge isn't a Jedi trait, blah, blah, blah. So he kind of, you know, got rid of that. But, yeah, man, from start to finish, he was tactically sound on everything. So what you need to do, and is there, like, are there deleted scenes of him chopping up the cops there? Because you only get a brief look at the devastation he caused, and it looked like one of the cops' arm was off or something. I want to see that scene. Kind of like, well, maybe it's too much alike. Maybe that's why they cut it, but, you know, Schwarzenegger's Terminator, original Terminator, where he comes to the police station to see Sarah Connor. Maybe that was a little too close to home on that. Can't do it. But, God, something tells me that they filmed that, but it got cut. I don't know. So Drum Dums, man, thank you for that. All right. I'm sure I'm forgetting a bunch of stuff as usual, but yeah. Myers. Return of Michael Myers, the GOAT for slasher villains. That's what's up. Later, man.